Hello, and welcome to The Key, an unlocked podcast for women, by women, centered on conversations around women's worth and empowering women to take the brave steps to close the pay gap in their own lives. My name is Severia Harris, and I'm your host. And today I'm joined by members of the Unlock community, including special guest Jennifer Jones. Now, if you have never met this high energy blonde or had her grace your social media, you are in for a treat. Jennifer is what LinkedIn calls a super connector with more than 25,000 followers, and that pedigree is well earned. Jennifer is the founder and CEO of Ignite and Launch, which is a company dedicated to coaching entrepreneurs on the tactics, habits, and mindsets to earn more money. In addition, Jennifer is a self-described pharma quitter, having spent more than 20 years as a pharmaceutical sales rep, earning her way into the president's circle before pivoting to become an entrepreneur selling clean, crafted wines. There, Jennifer once again excelled and joined the Founders Club. Never one to keep the secrets of success to herself, Jennifer shares with her community through Ignite and Launch how to get ahead. She is with us today as a partner to the Unlock Foundation to talk with us around self-worth, compensation, and of course, closing the pay gap. Jennifer, thank you for being with us here today.
It is a true honor and pleasure. Let's roll. I am so excited to get to the discussion.
Love it. Love it. Ladies, please introduce yourselves.
Hi, my name is Sonia Brown, and I live in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Hi, I'm Liz, calling in from Yardley, Pennsylvania.
Hi, this is Olga. I'm joining from Warminster, Pennsylvania.
Thank you, ladies. All right, Jennifer, so let's get into it. As you know, at the Unlock Foundation, we believe that your network is your net worth. But before we even get there, why do you think that the concept of networking is so challenging for women?
Women are terrible self-promoters. I'm just going to put it out there. I should rephrase that in the positive though, right? What an opportunity women have, right? Please. What an opportunity we have to become better self-promoters. It is so hard for us to share what we're good at, you guys. It's so much hard for us to write a resume and role play those interview questions about our strengths. It's one of those things we just have to practice. It's like a muscle. There's muscle memory there, okay? This is something that can be taught. So I have 4 daughters. This is something I rehearse with them almost every single day. What did you do well today? What could you improve on today? Did you meet somebody new today? How did you enter into that discussion today? It's just a mindset shift that we have to embrace and practice every single day. We have got to get better at talking about ourselves and our strengths.
I couldn't agree with you more. I find that I feel like a lot of women just are like really in our own heads. And I think that's like the biggest barrier. And I think as soon as you get out of your head and you realize that everybody in the room is having the same thoughts and feelings as you are, I think that like that breaks the immediate ice. And as soon as you get out of your head and you break that ice, you're able to like have the best conversations.
Jennifer, we all have times of challenge and perhaps self-doubt, even the most badass amongst us, like yourself. What woman helped you to see your worth at a time when perhaps you forgot it?
So it was 2017. I had just had my 4th daughter, and I bought a Peloton bike because I needed to lose the 50 pounds that I'd gained during pregnancy. Why did I have to lose it so fast? Because I had to go back to work in 12 weeks and fit into all those suits. I was way too cheap to buy new work clothes, you guys, way too cheap. So I bought a Peloton bike and I encountered this woman named Robin Arzón. Mm-hmm. And she changed the way I looked at myself, how I looked at power, how I looked at female empowerment, and how I found myself all of a sudden having that mindset shift I talked about a moment ago, where she's like, beat on your chest and remember who you are. And she used these really strong, aggressive words that I hadn't yet heard other women say those things. And so when people ask me this question, there is one person and one person only, and it is Robin Arzón. I've had the opportunity to meet her in person, and I personally thanked her for the massive impact that she has had on my life. But maybe you don't have a Peloton bike. Download the app and listen to her. All the women on Peloton are so empowering. And if you're not into that kind of stuff, just find somebody. Find a female mentor on social media. Find a female mentor on a podcast. Find someone that moves you to take action and holds you accountable.
Have you ever been mentored in your career specifically on the topic of compensation? And do you feel as though, if you did, that it was sufficient?
Absolutely not. It's a massive problem. Absolutely not. Not once, not ever in my corporate career. It was frowned upon to discuss compensation outside of the very obvious compensation plan that nobody understood anyway. Absolutely not. Huge problem.
Yeah, see, the interesting thing, I have an interesting perspective on that. I spent 10 years in municipal government. And so for 10 years in municipal government, I don't know if people know, your salary is public information. So for me, I didn't have the same hangups about money because I just knew that we all didn't have very much of it because we were paid by the government, and you could Google my salary and it would be like Sonia Brown, and this is how much money she makes every year. So there was a lot of transparency in municipal government that I think doesn't exist in corporate world since I left. And that's been jarring for me, is kind of trying to bridge that divide of like, why is everything so cloak and dagger? Why is it that it's not discussed? Why are we not discussing if we're on the same tier, who makes what and how is that working, right? So that was my interesting difference, with going into corporate America and finding out that it isn't something that is discussed widely.
How were your expectations around compensation shaped, given that you weren't, not once, not ever, mentored on that topic, Jennifer?
I'm going to give you an example. One time I was in a regional meeting. My regional director comes in. I'll never forget it. We're all 8 sitting at the table, and he goes, "You guys know what? You guys need to stop it. You should be so lucky to make this money. This is great money, you guys. You make great money. You get a car, you get 401k, you get you get insurance. Yeah, $150,000. That is great money." And I sat there and I was like, so that's how it is, huh? That's how it is. I should be so lucky. It's like, the mother, may I have more money, please, from a corporate job, from my corporate career. And that gave me this just searing, burning, vile taste in my mouth of like, I should be so lucky. No, you should be so lucky. So at that point, now that was probably 10 years ago, I started asking questions. But I want to hit on something that I think all women should be doing, and I do it in Ignite and Launch, and it's probably the most challenging exercise specifically for women, not for men. I have women write down their monthly compensation goals. I have them write it down. I take them through a series of exercises. And I cannot tell you how many reach out to me on the side. Well, I can't go to the next module because I can't complete this one because I don't really know, or I'm afraid to say, or I don't want to put it out there into the universe, or I haven't thought it through, or it's a scary number, or maybe I'm not valuing myself enough. I'm like, that number you're writing down is directly tied to your self-worth and how you view yourself. It better be a big number, honey. It better be a big number. So to circle back, what shaped it was thinking, I see all these people in this room. I can definitely out earn them. I'm more talented than them. I have more opportunity than them that I can create for myself. And then really doing some inner work on empowerment and talking to people that are making those big checks, that are earning the money, that aren't afraid of it. They aren't shy about sharing it. That's another thing I hope we get to, how women are so shy about sharing success. It's gross. We got to stop it.
Yeah, Jennifer, I've definitely heard that phrase before. You're lucky to have a job. And I actually started my career in 2008 when everything crashed, and I did have a job right out of school. And so that was like the first phrase, like, you get what you get and you don't get upset. And I think it really goes way back when we teach kids, when I think that it needs to be ingrained with kids as they grow up, with women as they go through school, as they go through their career. There is definitely that lack of mentors who can teach them that. And I think having a network and having this connection where you can have someone who, like Jennifer, who can push your buttons and say, yes, you can do better. Yes, you deserve it. Yes, you should absolutely go for it. So I think, it is such an honor to be part of this group and part of this network where you can push each other to do better.
Do you believe it's possible to effectively advocate for yourself if you don't have a healthy sense of self-worth?
One thing that I think is really important when trying to figure out your self-worth is to remember, you don't have to be the best in the game. You don't have to be the best attorney that exists. I'm sure that you are, but you don't have to be. You just have to be one step ahead of somebody else. You need to be able to give somebody else a hand up, not a handout, right? So yeah, I have started this company, Ignite and Launch. I have no idea what I'm doing. That is okay, you guys. You don't have to know where the path ends. You just need to keep putting one step in front of the other. So I think a lot of that self-worth comes just from doing the inner work and not being afraid of saying the things that might make other people uncomfortable. In terms of your strengths, this is an exercise we could do every single day. You know, when you wake up and you do your gratitude, write down 5 things that you did great the day before. And that will build and build and build until you'll be talking about yourself so much you won't be able to stop. I mean, I find myself in that, going down that road a lot. So no, but it's impossible. You got to do the work on yourself.
I was taught, appreciate what you have, be modest, you don't have to be bragging about yourself. And corporate America is the last place you want to be modest. And for me to overcome that and to kind of get myself and realize what is truly appreciated, in corporate America took a while. And so don't be modest. You should be advocating for yourself. You should be bragging about yourself. You should be stating fact and keeping track of all the facts, of all of the achievements that you have made. You have to be talking about yourself. You have to make sure that people know who you are if you want to get ahead.
What experience helped you to get clear on what to expect in terms of your compensation?
I would have no idea what was possible if I didn't start leveling up my network. You guys say it all the time. Your network is your net worth. I would be happy in my pharma job thinking I was killing it and crushing it every single day because I was doing a little bit better than Melissa, a little bit better than Janet. Maybe I won the trip to Hawaii. And in this microcosm, almost trapped in this microcosm of groupthink is so dangerous. And so I started people that I had met on social media, people in my community, people through the Peloton community, like whatever hobbies you're in, put yourself in rooms with different people. And I don't want you guys to be afraid to pay for a seat at the table. There's all these glorious masterminds, microminds. This weekend, I'm attending a leadership summit. I pay to get in the room so I can sit next to people that are more powerful, that have done it before, so they can in turn teach me. Because 3 years ago, they were me and they want to help and give the hand up, not the hand out. So find people better, faster, stronger. Do not be intimidated by them. People are like, well, what do I say? Just start asking them questions.
It's interesting to me because my unlock moment as it relates to compensation was when I realized, like, I don't make any money. Why is that? I'm very talented, but I don't make any money. And then I convinced myself that it's because I'm a civil servant. I work for the government and I'm doing good things for good people. I'm altruistic. And then you have kids, and then you have a mortgage, and then you have responsibilities and obligations. You realize, like, this isn't it. And so that was my unlock moment, was when I left municipal government and I joined the corporate world, and I realized, like, this world is my oyster. Like, they don't set my pace, I set the pace. So when I negotiated that first salary, I felt like it was like reparations to myself. Like, I was like, so I feel like I'm worth this. And they were like, oh, that's not really what we want. And I was like, no, I think it is. And I know that I'm worth it. And I just, like, I was bullish almost in it because I said, like, I have to be, because again, no one's going to advocate for me but me. And I kind of have reminded myself, that I talked to all my friends about this, like, do you think men sit in rooms and say, like, I shouldn't ask for that because I don't really deserve that? Have you ever in your life experienced a man who was like, I should go lower. I should start here because no, men are like, shoot for the stars, land amongst the moon, like, who cares? And that's kind of, I think, the mentality that we as women have to embrace is like, I'm worth it. And the worst that can happen is they say no. And then the onus is on me to decide, do I agree with them or not? Right. But that was my unlock moment, was like, no, this is mine. I have the right to say I'm worth more.
There's definitely been that conversation where I asked for my stars and moon. I was like, oh shit, like, I definitely I shot myself in the foot, and I was like, oh God, they're just gonna decline it, and it's not gonna go anywhere. And then like 2 days go by and I'm like sweating. And then 3 days go by and they're like, we'll give you a teeny bit less, but we still want you. Right. So like you have to be bolder. And for me, what really helped me to be bolder was to do my research, right, among my network, to understand that what I was making was way below my peers, and that I should have been asking for more. So
you may not get what you asked for, but that's okay too, right? Because like one of two things is going to happen. Either you're going to get, somewhere between where you are and what you asked for, or you're still where you were, you're still where you were. And then to the point around that Sonia made, it's up to you to decide, do I even want this opportunity the way that I thought that I wanted it? If it's not going to pay me what I'm worth, is it even as valuable as I thought that it was? So really excellent insight. What role, Jennifer, do women have to play when it comes to closing the pay gap?
They have to be the fire starters, you guys. You said it earlier, and I love it. Say it again. No one is going to come save us. No one is going to do this for us, you guys. It comes from having discussions, leveling up your network, letting other women know that it is okay to have these discussions, to engage with other women and men. And if anyone's like, well, I feel nervous, I don't know how to start the conversation, I don't know how to ask, my advice, you guys, this works like a charm. You pull on this Teflon suit. You start down at your ankles. You pull it up over your body, right to where your eyes are. This Teflon suit, you pull it on every single day. So no matter what they say, the eye rolls, here she goes again about gender equality for pay, whatever it is, it just rolls off like Teflon, like water on a duck's back, you guys. This also works for imposter syndrome. And if you don't believe me, think about Beyonce, how she becomes Sasha Fierce on stage. You guys, she is not that person in real life. I wish she was. She's not. She's like this quiet introvert, but on stage, she becomes somebody else. So maybe you need to become the actress or the actor in your life. Step into that powerful person and bring us all along with you. But it starts with us, and it starts by having the conversation. I was a communications major in school, which basically means I'm not that smart. All the smart people did like architecture or journalism or whatever. I was a communications major. I had no idea that communication is everything. Starting the conversation, albeit uncomfortable, is everything. And it's the only way we get out of this.
There's that quote, and I didn't look it up, so forgive me if I get it wrong, but there's a special place in hell for women that don't help other women. I can't remember who said that, right? I love that quote, and that's exactly what I thought of when I saw this question. As someone who is a people leader and a manager, I actually have an all-woman team. Just so happen to be that they're the most talented, most capable team I've ever worked with. And I make sure that I take care of them, both financially and with opportunities, as well as coaching and mentoring other women that are coming up. So Jennifer, what you've been saying all day is about the hand up to help versus, the handout. And I feel so strongly against that saying that you hear, well, I had to go through these struggles, so people behind me should have to, right? That's such BS. And so I think not only do we have to help wear that Teflon suit, but if we're in roles where we have power, then we do everything we can to bring up those women with us, to give them that pay, to do all the things that we say we want and need. Do it for them, because they will in turn continue that momentum and help. And so I feel like that's my role to play, and how I ensure that other women also do that.
We have to lift each other up. We have to hold each other accountable. We have to, call attention to the things, we have to say the quiet thing out loud sometimes and be like, nope, because I know that so-and-so over there is making more than what my good friend here is making. And even if we're not good friends, we might be after this, right? And it's like just helping each other close the gap. And that's that's our power. Our power is in our solidarity. It's in our unity. It's in the friendships that we can kind of develop over the years. I believe that that's how we end the gender pay gap, personally.
When thinking about your own life, to what degree has the desire not to offend others, which I think is sometimes weighing on these women, played a role for you?
It's the mindset of delete and block, you guys. It works. And the faster you can stop letting other people tinker with your thinking or tell you it's too loud, or, oh, she's saying it again, or here she goes, or the quicker that we can just put on our blinders and exist in our lane and keep going faster, like a freight train, the better off we are all going to be. Don't let anyone cloud our vision, guys. Nobody gets in the way of our vision. Nobody.
I mean, can I just say I want to be Jennifer Jones when I grow up? I truly have to like soak that in what she just said, because this is absolutely something I've struggled with culturally growing up in an Irish household that really is always afraid to offend, and always, just kind of meekly says things. That certainly has been a challenge growing up in corporate America in my career. And so, I think that not having the answer, but recognizing the problem is the step that I've been trying to take as I go into meetings, as I know that I'm trying to not have that imposter syndrome, have that Teflon on. And truly, Jennifer, I'm going to repeat what you just said in my head, my mantra here on out. So I'm taking notes just as much as everyone else listening, because that was a really good one.
What belief do you believe women need to be better socialized to carry around when making their asks about their worth?
We can be all of the things. We may not want to be, but if you desire more, you can get more, and you don't need anybody else to help you. Okay. I think it's so critical because we were brought up to be reliant on a partner, whether it's male or female, I don't care, entering into partnerships with people. I know a lot of friends that are doing everything alone and they're doing just fine, honey. And you know what helps everything? More money. More money helps with the life.
How has your network empowered you to be bolder in how you show up in the world?
Having gone from one network, a pharmaceutical sales rep, and moving into a network of entrepreneurs where it's okay to want the things, it's okay to do the things, it's okay to work hard. Like, the hustle culture is not dead in my life. The hustle culture is alive and well. There's this whole I'm like, what are we doing to ourselves? You guys, it's just about not quitting. Like, so many days we're exhausted, we're tired, we think we're never going to get there, we think it's never going to happen. And we are right there. The breakthrough is right there. It's right there. It's the next day. It's the next morning. It's the next night. So we cannot give up on ourselves. We got to continue to put ourselves in the room and around people, better, faster, stronger, not be intimidated, no imposter syndrome, pull on the Teflon suit, and we're going to change the game for all of us. Even on this podcast and all the women domestically and globally, we're doing it.
I'm so grateful for these honest conversations, and because it's difficult to have these conversations with your family or, with people at work. Like, you have to have this network where you can have this kind of conversation. And this network helped me unlock my deepest insecurity of having postpartum depression that I didn't share with anyone for like over 10 years. And I feel like that's been holding me back because I thought I was a bad mother. I thought I was a bad leader. Like, how can you manage a team if you can't even manage your kids? Like, it was just holding me back. And once you kind of get over that and get it and help these women lift you up and change your mindset that, like, you're an amazing woman, like, you are an amazing leader, go get it. Like, it is time to throw those self-limiting expectations out the window and just go get it, go achieve. There's so much more to be achieved.
What happens when everything in your life is a reflection of your self-worth?
You guys, it just gets better every single day. One thing that you have to start with, you have to have a funeral for the person that you were. That person may have been great. That person was probably phenomenal, but you are going to step into the most elevated, the highest frequency of yourself, and you're going to leave her behind. That's totally fine. She's always in you, but you're going to leave her behind. So what I have found is the more I put myself out there to really answer your question, the more doors continue to open for me every single day. It's like the universe is continuously dropping me breadcrumbs, and I just stay open. And I'm like, breadcrumb here, follow this path, breadcrumb there, follow this path. And it's because I'm not sitting at home, not networking. I'm out there having the discussions with people. So the unlocked moment for me in the last 5 years of my life, which I can't even imagine my life is what it is now versus being trapped in my corporate job 5 years ago, is staying open, meeting new people, and taking advice from people, and only from people that have a bank account that you want.
Love it. Jennifer, I want to raise a glass to you in the tradition of this podcast. And I want to say Cheers to you. Thank you for sharing your story, your advice, your wisdom. May we all become, as a result, happier, better, and richer. Cheers.
Cheers. Thanks, ladies.